feel like I let my teammates down tonight.
This game is emotional. I understand the tears, but understand, I call it how I see it. And if Lamar Jackson was in this situation, if Joe Burrow was in this situation, if Patrick Mahomes was in this situation, Jaquavius Prescott, Jalen Hurts, tears or not, we'll be holding him and them accountable. So why not let's hold Josh Allen accountable? 5 turnovers, the most turnovers by any team that was led by Josh Allen. He's a great quarterback, but he just hasn't shown the clutch gene that all other quarterbacks have shown. How they perform in late game, late situations. No matter what the late is, it could be late in the season or late in the game. Every time there is a late associated to Josh Allen, he doesn't deliver the goods. And I'm not saying delivering the goods because of his performance. I'm talking about delivering the goods because of the outcome. Some would say, why are you going so hard on Josh Allen? It's because Josh Allen has surpassed the layer of us feeling sorry for just mediocre play. We're in legacy now. He's shown that he's a game changer, but sometimes he can get very pedestrian and clutch situations. 0-7 in overtime games, the most career playoff wins and starts in 15 by any quarterback without a Super Bowl start since 1966. The Buffalo Bills gave up 10 points in less than 60 seconds. They lost the game pick by 3 points. So for me to just say, hey, we expect that from a CJ Stroud. We expect that from a Bo Nix. We expect that from Drake May. We're not expecting that from the game changer, the league's MVP, Josh Allen. But somehow or another, we keep bending the rules for certain people. And I'm here to straighten it up. Call me or what?
What unfolded for Buffalo wasn't some heartbreaking fluke. It wasn't bad luck. It wasn't the result of a single questionable decision. It was yet another postseason failure. And this time, there are no excuses left to lean on. Once the scene shifted to Denver, once the noise faded, the emotions passed, and the locker room lights were turned off, the Bills were eliminated once again. In that quiet aftermath, one reality stood front and center. Josh Allen came up short again.
Good morning. It's time to start treating Josh Allen like I treat Josh Allen. Around here, we treat Josh Allen like he's a black quarterback. Oh man, you've already seen it in full effect. Nobody gets coddled like Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills. I don't even mind Josh Allen really, but I'm just saying, he cried like a baby back bitch. His lineman cried. Cook cried. The whole team was in there on estrogen, crying like a bunch of bitches. I watched WNBA females lose championships and sit there at press conferences and not cry. Y'all killed Joel Embiid for crying and sniffling all in the hallway after the triple doink. Y'all killed Caleb Williams for crying to his mom in college. But y'all gonna see here, Josh is just trying his best. You gotta give it a fuck Josh Allen. He's a choke artist. You can't, number 1 running game. That means you have great linemen, top 10 defense, 7, top 2 defensive backs. Like, I'm sorry. You missed passes wide open, high, low, and short. Didn't really run for shit to help yourself. And on top of all that, you had 5 turnovers. You lost 4 of them. You put up this stat. This is how you know.
Before anyone rushes in to defend or explain it away, let's establish something clearly. This is not an attack on Josh Allen as a talent. This is about what the evidence shows. It's about recurring outcomes. It's about what keeps happening when the stakes rise. There remains a difficult contrast between his dominance in the regular season and his performance when the playoffs demand closure. The Buffalo's exit wasn't caused by conditions. It wasn't decided by officiating. It wasn't simply the result of how difficult postseason football can be. The loss came down to their cornerstone quarterback committing game-defining errors at the most critical moments. And it's a situation the team has now faced more than once.
Allen played worse than Lamar. Again. Y'all just come to leave messages. Y'all didn't hear what Ocho and I said, that Josh Allen played bad, and this loss have to be pinned on him. But what you guys tried to do, y'all remember when Lamar Jackson won the MVP that year? And how many turnovers did he have against Tennessee? They were the number 1 seed. How many turnovers did he have? Y'all remember when he was the number 1 seed and Kansas City came there? How many turnovers did Lamar have? See, what you do is that you try to excuse every time Lamar plays bad, you blame somebody else. And then when Josh Allen plays bad and somebody else, you're like, oh, it's all Josh, it's all Josh. I have never, ever heard you or anybody say, this one's on Lamar. You blame Zay Flowers fumbling the ball. You blame Mark Andrews. But what about those turnovers Lamar had?
Josh Allen breaking down during his press conference quickly became the defining image. The clips spread everywhere. Support poured in from fans. Coverage shifted toward empathy. Analysts softened their tone. But there's a truth that rarely gets said in those moments. Emotion is not the same thing as resilience. Owning the loss doesn't undo giveaways. Yes, Allen accepted blame. Yes, he admitted he failed the team. Yes, the moment was raw and genuine. And yes, that display reportedly influenced ownership when they ultimately chose to move on from the coaching staff. But feelings don't change the stat sheet. 2 interceptions. Momentum-swinging errors. A clear runway to the Super Bowl erased. And that's what makes this outcome especially hard to ignore. This wasn't a season dominated by Patrick Mahomes. It wasn't a conference run controlled by Joe Burrow. It wasn't Lamar Jackson overwhelming the AFC. This was the year opportunity was there for the taking, and the Bills' own quarterback closed the door himself.
Josh Allen have enough to go into Mile High and beat the Broncos?
Josh Allen has enough to go win the Super Bowl. That's what he has enough of.
Ooh.
Hey.
They have Superman.
Every elite quarterback eventually reaches a point where explanations stop working. For Tom Brady, success arrived early. For Patrick Mahomes, credibility came immediately. For Lamar Jackson, the postseason narrative finally flipped. With Josh Allen, that moment keeps arriving and then slipping away. Each season ends with familiar justifications. The supporting cast wasn't strong enough. The defense failed. Coaching let him down. Officiating played a role. But over time, repetition becomes revealing. Patterns matter. Allen has now experienced multiple playoff appearances, MVP-caliber years, an organization fully structured around his skill set, coaching changes, altered systems, shifting personnel, and defensive overhauls. Yet the result remains unchanged. Buffalo falls short. Allen presses harder, and the errors surface when the margin for error disappears. When Bills owner Terry Pegula entered the locker room after the loss, what he encountered wasn't direction or command. He didn't see clarity. He didn't see someone ready to steady the franchise and move forward. What he saw was emotional collapse, a quarterback drained, a team searching for answers. And by Pegula's own account, Allen didn't even acknowledge him in that moment. That detail matters. Not because emotion is wrong, but because leadership is tested most in defeat. When you're the centerpiece of an organization, the standard shifts. The burden increases. The expectations rise. This wasn't Allen's first postseason disappointment. It wasn't an early career lesson. It was another chapter in a growing history of unresolved endings at some point. Ownership had to confront the question fans had quietly asked for years. Is this actually producing results? The playoffs are indifferent to physical gifts. They don't reward arm strength, highlight throws, or regular season numbers. They expose judgment. They punish impatience. They amplify every mistake. That Allen's postseason track record includes repeated moments where attempting the extraordinary turned into self-inflicted damage. Missed throws, forced reads, unnecessary risks. Try to decide a game in a single play rather than managing it one possession at a time. That approach thrives in the fall. It collapses in the winter. The overtime interception wasn't merely poor execution. It reflected flawed decision-making. Urgency disguised as confidence. An attempt to take over when composure was required. And that has become the recurring issue. Here's the comparison many in Buffalo resist. When Mahomes loses, the opponent outplayed him. When Joe Burrow falls short, the opportunity slipped away. When Lamar Jackson comes up short now, it's the nature of competition. When Josh Allen loses, the focus always returns to the same question. What did he do wrong this time? That isn't coincidence. It isn't media framing. It isn't bias. It's evidence. The league's top quarterbacks don't need flawless conditions to survive January. They rely on control, discipline, and timing. Allen has strength, He has size. He has elite arm ability. What he hasn't consistently shown is the capacity to win imperfect games when restraint matters more than force. Yes, the roster has issues. Yes, coaching influenced outcomes. Yes, officiating can be debated. None of that changes the central reality. This was the clearest opportunity of Allen's career, and it passed in use. That's why this defeat hit harder than the others. That's why it sparked organizational decisions. That's why the conversation shifted from unfortunate to unacceptable. Because windows don't stay open forever, Buffalo now faces a deeper dilemma. They possess a quarterback capable of dominating the regular season, but still unproven when it's time to close. They have supporters who remain loyal but worn down. They have leadership that just moved on from a head coach, not solely due to performance, but because confidence is eroding. Josh Allen isn't being replaced. But patience is thinning, and until he proves he can manage chaos instead of becoming part of it, the cycle will continue, regardless of apologies, emotion, or post-game statements. This isn't hostility. It isn't dismissal. It's an overdue acknowledgement. Josh Allen is immensely gifted. He commands respect. He cares deeply. But talent, passion, and leadership alone don't secure postseason victories until he demonstrates the ability to deliver when pressure peaks, not just experience it. The Bills will remain stuck in the same place, close enough